Hey, hey Alex, how are you doing?
Hello, what's up?
All good? So I am Rohan, the marketing lead at Wized, and we have Alex, the product owner at Wized. I see in the audience we have some people. We've got Me Creative. Hello, how are you doing? Webhooks, nice to have you here. And Lucas. Great. On today's live stream, we have lots of things to share. We're going to do a quick recap of everything that happened at Wist in 2023. We'll go over some stats. We'll do feature demos. That is going to be the most exciting part of the live stream. We will share the future roadmap for Wist and wrap up the live stream with an AMA. Before we get started, we have one point to share, and that is the Wiz team is taking off on December 25th, December 26th, and the 1st of January. We will not be working on these 3 days, and for the other days, there will be limited availability. So if you contact our support team or any one of us, there could be delayed response. Alex, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, you said it right. So people in the team, it's taking some time off, and obviously that can affect a bit the response times. Don't worry, we're not going to be ignoring you. It's just that somebody may be doing some holidays, but that's it.
Great. Okay, so now onto the agenda. We'll do a major news recap. A lot of you may know this. We are just going to touch on it briefly. So FinSuite acquired Wized. Jonas then joined FinSuite. He rebuilt the Wizd.io platform into what's called the Embed One. It is the current default version of Wizd. Jonas was satisfied with his work and then decided to pursue new ventures. And at that point, Alex stepped in as the new product owner of Wizd. Alex analyzed all the feedback that we had gathered over 1 year, proactively looked into every single aspect of Wizd, and then decided to develop Embed 2. Embed 2 made Wizd a lot more powerful. It's extremely fast, it's scalable, extensible, accessible. It is the next version of Wizd, but Embed 2 does not have all features that Embed 1 currently has. You can use both for client projects depending on the needs of your web app. So if you have any questions about choosing an embed type, reach out to us on chat and we'll help you out. Alex, is there anything that you'd like to add?
That we are working a lot on creating as much learning resources as we can for helping you understand the changes in number 2. We know that there are a few things that are working obviously different and you need to learn about them. There is some resources already, you can learn from it, but we're going to create a lot more resources to make sure that nobody misses this out. So stay tuned because the content is coming.
Great. And as always, we've got the two lingering questions, very important questions. Alex, has Wizd officially launched?
Not yet. So if we are talking about like an official launch, the our goal is to have Embed 2 fully ready with all the features that are missing. And then we'll make like the official launch party where we're probably going to launch it on Product Hunt. We're going to make some marketing. We're going to make a campaign around it. So officially, it's open to everyone because we decided to pre-release the newest version, what we call the Embed 2, so people can start using it. But still, as I said, there are some things that are missing, so it's not feature complete. And because it's not feature complete, we don't want to say that we've released the product already.
I would just like to reaffirm that just because it's not feature complete does not mean it's unstable. You can use Wist Embed 1 or Embed 2, whichever you like, depending on the needs of your project. Okay, moving on. Alex, when will all of it be ready?
We are aiming to have things ready by probably Q2 of the 2024 year. So Joe already shared on the previous live stream the roadmap that we have, and maybe we can refresh the minds of everyone later in the stream. And essentially, all the features that are missing to say that we are officially feature complete and we can launch it. When I said feature complete, doesn't mean that we are not going to be developing any more features. It's just that the things that we want for sure to be on the current version, we want them to be ready. So we are looking at between Q1 and Q2 of next year. We're gonna not gonna say an exact date because we don't even know it, but we have this reference around Q2.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Moving on, another big change that happened was the change in name of our Twitter profile or the X profile handle from Get Wized to Wized app. If you are not following us on Twitter or X just yet, then please do. It is our one of two direct lines of communication that we have with you, the community. This is where we share the news of anything Wized. So Victoria has shared the URL. Please subscribe to that. Next, we shared this in our previous live stream of the Q3 review. We made investments in LogRocket and BetterStack. We have now been using these platforms for more than 4 months, perhaps even longer. Alex, can you tell us how these platforms help us to serve our users better? And what are the benefits? Anything else that you'd like to share about them?
Yeah, sure. Well, so the main idea is, as we shared in previous live streams, is that we want to make sure that the platform is as stable as possible because people are using Wist to build enterprise grade projects. So we want to make sure that everyone who's using it can be sure that everything works fine. So this is an investment that we did. It just going towards our efforts to identify when something is going wrong and also to communicate it to the community anytime that that happens. So if you don't know it already, but you have a status.wiz.com page that you can always visit. So if you feel that something is weird, you can always go there. You can check if something is currently experiencing any issues. And then also you can always get in touch with our team through the in chat in the app. And thanks to applications like BlockRocket, we are also get notified when something goes wrong. So we are the first ones usually to be notified about these things, and we try to fix the issues as fast as we can. So it all comes together to identifying issues quicker and solving them quicker and communicating with the community about the status of them. So far, a good investment.
Perfect. I am so glad things are working out well there. Next, we migrated our intelligence center over to WheatPress. I'd like to point out that we've got two domains. There is one that is v1.wizd.com. You will find all documentation about embed 1 on that domain. And for embed 2, it's docs.wizd.com. Another very important point to highlight. Alex, is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, these updates not only include the content itself, but we rebuild the whole documentation sites to be integrated in our code base because now it makes it easier for us to update the docs when something changes. So if we add any new features or if there's something that needs to be rephrased or something like that, we can do it automatically from our code base. Everything is more direct, and that includes also the changelog. I think that we should also share because I think that people likes to see these things, but we have right now a public changelog of the product in docs.wiz.com/changelog. So you can visit it already. And anytime that we push any fixes or any new functionalities, anything, you're going to see that in there. And also, you're going to see that in the dashboard. That's something new that we're going to share later. But essentially, anytime that we push something new, you're going to see a pop up in the dashboard telling you about those updates, which is handy. It's cool.
Yeah, and my favorite part about the changelog is that it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but integrated with GitHub. So the updates are coming straight from the devs. There is no middleman. So that's a direct, transparent line of communication with everybody.
Yep.
Great. So, another big milestone that we are very happy about is the partnership with Black Peak for Black Market. The project is a work in progress. It will be released next year. It is a marketplace where you can buy and sell Wized clonables. On that note, if any of you have any ideas for collaborations, for partnerships, please reach out to me. Send me an email on rohan@finsuite.com, and we can discuss on how we can move things forward. We are very open to collaboration with the community. Great. Now on to the next section of the live stream, stats. I'll start off with YouTube. For the Wized YouTube channel, we have received over 185,000 views in 2023. That sums up to over 9,000 hours spent in watch time. Incredible. We are very happy, and we want to grow those numbers for next year. We have also received over 1,800 new subscribers. So thank you everyone who subscribed to our channel. The second most watched video is about OpenAI, the Wanderlust project tutorial. And of course, the most watched video is Wized under 70 seconds. You can find that on the homepage of wiz.com. Next up, Wized YouTube community channel. Now, this is growing, this is new. We've got just over 5,000 views in 2023, which has about 200 hours in watch time and 173 new subscribers. We want these numbers to grow a lot more. So, if you are an aspiring Wized content creator, please reach out to me. Let's make a plan. We'll help you promote your content. We'll link back to your YouTube channel, to your website. We'll market them on emails. Let's We'll help you grow your channel as you create content about Wist, and that would be posted on the Wist community YouTube channel. Moving on, Intelligence Center. We have published over 40 articles on docs.wiz.com. I'd like to give a massive shout out to Emmanuel, who has been working on these articles. He has been recording tutorials, creating clonables. Emmanuel's goal is to help you take your Wiz skill to the next level, and he is only pressing down harder on that for next year. Overall, we've published 13 clonables, and Maya is the most popular. It's a web app marketplace where sellers can manage inventory and buyers can make purchases. Next, Wiz support. We have received over 1,500 new conversations, and we have had over 800 conversations from existing users. We are happy to see the growth in the touch point. You can reach out to our support team on wiz.com/support or from the configurator. Shout out to Nelson and Elvis, who are helping us provide this wonderful service. Now finally, Wiz. We have an average daily users of 250, which is great. There is a project that caught our eye. It has the most number of actions, that is 888. We can't share the project, but we are incredibly happy looking at that number. It just shows us how powerful the platform is and how much one can push the boundaries with the development of web app on Wist. And BeThereCertificate.org has received over 250,000 views in a month, making it the most visited Wized project. We are incredibly
Actually,
proud of that. Tell me, Alex.
I think that the official number is actually half a million when they did the launch. Now, after
Wow,
a couple months, obviously it has stabilized, and now they're getting about a quarter million average a month. So the peak was actually higher. It's still a very nice number.
it's incredible. And Wizd works on all of those views. There have been no issues with the application, so we are incredibly happy. Now, Alex will share his screen and show you the growth of Wizd projects and tell us the number of projects that have been created on Wizd in the last 1 year.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so let's share the screen. I'm going to start by just showing this, and after that, we're going to jump into other interactive things. Okay, so this is just a chart that we have. We keep track of all the projects that are created. Essentially, you can see on the blue line the new projects that are being created each month, and then on the orange line, it's just the accumulated. So we are seeing an exponential growth, and that's even before officially releasing. So that's a good sign. We are on a good track, and we're happy about these numbers. Even the project creation, we are seeing it grow every month, which is nice. So everyone who's creating projects and feeling happy about that, I think that I can already tell you thank you for that, because we love seeing people using the platform and getting a benefit out of it. Okay, great. Um, well, I'll let you, Rohan, jump in here.
Sure.
Should we start with the demos?
Yes, the feature demos, the most exciting part. Please show us, Alex.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to show a few things that have been pushed since the last live stream that we did. Obviously, I'm not going to have enough time to talk about everything. As a reminder, if you want to see every single update that we are pushing, you can go to docs.wiz.com/changelog. And in there, you can see everything. Okay. That being said, let's just scan a few things. And I'm going to start with something that we pushed today, just today, and it's a new dashboard UI. Yay! um, so here, this is an example of the new what's new pop-up. So anytime that there's any update in the dashboard, you're gonna see this. You're gonna see just a pop-up that lists all the updates. And in this case, we've got a new dashboard UI redesign. Cool. Okay, so this is the first step towards a more long-term goal, which I can talk about in maybe later. But essentially, right now, this is a redesign of the UI, but with not major changes. So you can essentially still do the same things with some added functionalities. So there's now a recent projects list, there is a new workspaces list, there is a project search, and there is an improved migration project migration flow. Okay, so this is the new UI, which is looking amazing. You can all thank to Alex Drum. He's doing an amazing job designing the platform. And maybe I can zoom out a bit so everyone can see it better. But essentially, you get now a section with all the recent projects. So if you're working with a project, no longer need to be looking for it, because it's going to appear probably on the first position. This is ordered based on the latest updates. Okay, nice. And you have now a list of the workspaces. And workspaces right now work a bit like folders. So you can essentially open a workspace and you can navigate to it to see the projects inside that workspace. Okay, let me zoom in back again. We can also search for projects, which is cool. Nice. You can search both in the dashboard or you can search inside a workspace. Okay. And the project transferring is essentially changed, because before, when you wanted to transfer a project, you had to drag it. You had to grab it from your workspace and drag it to another workspace, which was a bit confusing for some users. So now it's essentially easier. You just get this pop up and you can select the destination of the workspace, and that's it. Very simple. Okay. That being said, for now, we still have not unlocked some other functionalities, like, for example, moving workspaces where you are not the owner, or leaving a workspace, or doing any mutations to a workspace that you're not owning. Okay, that's coming later in Q4. Not in Q4. Sorry, in 2024. Okay, we're gonna be doing some updates around that. But for now, this is a nice improvement. Okay. Um,
Love it.
any questions so far?
No questions in the comments, but I just wanted to tell you that I love the recent projects section, that no matter which project you're working on from which workspace, all of that shows up right there. So it is such a good UX improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, please thank Alex Drum for that. Okay, nice. So let's keep them showing more things. One thing that passed a bit unannounced, that maybe not everyone noticed it, is that now we have a new videos panel in the configurator. So when you open a project, and you can just go here in the videos, and you'll find a bunch of videos that are pretty helpful. You can even open a video and you can just work on the project while you're watching the video, which is very convenient. Right now, there are not a lot of videos. I think it's about 20-ish, but we're gonna be updating this. So stay tuned to the videos and also to the What's New pop-up because we're gonna show that anytime that there's an update. Okay, nice. Let me see. Okay, so now I'm going to make a demonstration of some features inside the project. So first of all, before even doing anything in the config editor, let's jump into the Webflow project, okay? Because I want to remind everyone that we have a very cool app. Hold on, this froze. Whoops, I'm gonna refresh my
It's
page.
called the Wized app in Webflow,
Yep.
and it's used to manage attributes within the Webflow projects. You can add a new attribute, access all attributes within a project. Um, what else? Do you remember, Alex?
Yeah, there's one new update that we did not announce, but it's essentially that now it doesn't require logging into your account when you open the project in your Webflow. So when you open the Wist application in your Webflow project, because essentially we are detecting if this Webflow project belongs to a Wist project, so we can show it to you, which is nice because now if multiple people are working on this project, they don't need to be logging into a same account to see this project. They just need to install the app. Actually, the app is installed in the project, so everyone can access it. You just launch it, and immediately you have access to everything. So I can start doing things. I want to identify a couple elements in here because I'm going to use them for the demo. So let's just do this. I can quickly add an element here. I'm going to say count total because surprise, surprise, we're going to be doing a counter. And this is going to be count increment like this.
Alex, could you please zoom in if it's all right?
Yes. Let me know if it's still visible enough. Um,
Better, thank you.
yeah. Okay. So right now we don't have anything created in the Wiz project, but whenever you create something in the Wiz project, it's going to be reflected in here, which is very convenient because you can see, okay, this element, I want to see what actions are applied to this element, or that other element, I want to see what actions are applied to that element. They are going to show up in here. Maybe I can show you after we do it in here. So it's a very nice companion to have when you're working both with Webflow and with Wist, trying to connect things. I encourage everyone to try it out. And if you have any feedback, again, we love feedback. So just drop it in our community channels. Okay, great. So I've identified this. So let's just publish the project and let's jump into Wist. How's everyone doing, by the way? Is everyone okay?
Yes, all good. We have some questions. We could get to them at the end or now if you have time. Anything.
If are they related to some any feature? Hold on, let me try to grab.
No, not at the moment.
Okay, then let's wait. Let me do the whole demo and then let's jump into any questions. Great.
Great.
Okay, so let's demonstrate more things, more new things. So right now I have a variable called vcount, and I'm going to use this variable to just increment this count. Okay, so let's do it super quick, and then I'm going to show you something cool. So I'm going to create a new action for the count total. So this is going to be count display. And I just want to set the text to the v count in here. Nice. Okay. So if this was changed, this is going to be reflected now in this element. So now all it's left is just incrementing this count. So let's do it super quick. This is going to be count increment, and I'm going to do element and boom, on event, click, whoops, not focus, click. I just want to update the variable. So let's do this, boom, and we're gonna return the v count plus one. That's it, super simple. And I can already start doing that. This is nothing new. Everyone already knows how to do this. It's very basic. One of the new features that we released is the ability to persist variables in storage. This is nice whenever you want to connect a variable value to something that should be persisted, even if the user leaves the browser and comes back. So now you can select in a variable if you want to persist this in the session storage or in the local storage. Doing in the session storage essentially will be persisted while the user is navigating your site. But whenever you leave the site, so whenever the user closes the browser or closes the tab of that site, the session storage will be cleaned. Local storage will persist forever. So let me just show you session storage for now. I'm going to refresh. And if we do this, now anytime that we refresh the page, this is being persisted across navigations, which is very cool. Nice. Okay. So if I loaded this on a separate Chrome tab, then you would see how this is going away because we're using the session storage. But if you use the local storage, then it's going to persist for as long as the user doesn't clean it up. So I recommend that everyone tries it out because it's very helpful. It even allows you to persist anything. So you can persist arrays, you can persist objects, you can persist anything that you want, and it gives you a bunch of benefits. And if you want to read more about that, you can find it in the documentation side, by the way. Okay, cool. So let's keep doing more cool things. I have a couple things to show you. So let's start first by doing a real-time Supabase demonstration. And after that, I'll show you a couple more cool things, okay? So one of the things that we launched after the last live stream is the Supabase integration inside the Wized 2.0, so the embed 2.0. And in this case, I have already set up here my Supabase account, but I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do. I want not only me to increment this count, but I want everyone who is attending this live stream to increment the count with me. So I want to create a real-time app that updates for everyone who opens this site in real time. So let's do it. I am just going to come here to my test account here in Supabase, and I'm going to create a new table. So a new table, and let's do the with demo, for example. And in this case, I'm going to disable the row security because I just want everyone to access it. And I'm going to enable real time like that. Okay. So let's create disable like that. And essentially, so we can simulate this real life counting, I am going to create two different requests. One request to get all the items that exist in this table. Okay, so I want to get all the items. And another request to create a new item in the table. So everyone who clicks on this increment button, it's going to create a new item, a new record in here, and the count, the total count, it's going to be updated in real time, which is cool. So let's do that. So first of all, I want to create a request that it's going to be get count like that. And I'm going to go Supabase method, and I want to get a list. And the table, it was called with demo. So let's call it with demo like that. And I want to subscribe real time. Whenever you activate this, any changes to the table are going to be automatically reflected in Wized without reloading anything, which is cool. I want to count the results because I want to know exactly how many rows are in here. And in my case, I don't care about the data that is in this table, so I'll just include the count. I just need to know how many items are in the table. That's it, actually. I don't need to do anything else. So if we do this and we call it for now, we have 0 items. Perfect. Actually, let me show you, but if I come here and I say insert a new row and I just save it, boom, this was updated automatically. So you can see how things are connected in real time with Wized, which is very, very cool. So let me get rid of this, actually, no, let's keep it. And all I need to do now is when clicking on this button, I want to perform this get count. I actually know when we load the page, I want to perform the get count. And when clicking on this button, I want to create a new item. So first of all, let's come in here in actions and let's do get count. and it's going to be an event. And the event is when the page starts loading, I want to perform the get count request. So now if we refresh the page, you will see how automatically the get count is happening anytime the page is reloaded. Nice. And all I have to do now is change the count display to not the variable that we created before, but instead I want to use the count that it's coming from the API. Cool. So now we've got everything connected. All it's left now is to increment the count. So let's do it. So I'm just going to create a new. No, actually, no, I have already the here. So instead of setting a variable, I'm going to change this and I'm going to perform a request. And there's a request. It's going to be one that does not exist, which is increment count, Supabase. And I'm going to create an item for the Wized demo table. That's it. We don't need for any data because all we care is about the row with the automatically generated ID. So that's it. And now let's trigger this in here. So whenever we click on this button, I want to increment the count. Great. Okay, so if everything went well, it should be now incrementing. And if we refresh, we're getting this. So how about we share this link with everyone? Can we share this so people can break it? Let's break it. I'm going to share this in here. Victoria or Gabe, if you can share this link with the people. It's wizdemoq4.waflow.io. Let's see, 1 second, if they can share it in the chat. Nice. Okay,
I was
cool. So
just clicking on it
how?
and it works perfectly.
Okay, great. So let's go and break it. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, cool. So something went wrong here, but it should now be updated in real time. Okay, cool. So we're getting 1,000 clicks just
Wow.
in a second. So whenever you feel tired of that, you can stop clicking. But now I want to use this example as the as a way of showing you all the things that we've included in Wized. So now you can see how when triggering the request, what I'm doing is on increment count click. So when clicking on this button, we're performing the request with the perform request action, right? But there's actually other ways that you can do it even more customly. Okay, and let me explain. Now inside, when you click on an element, you can run a function, as I mentioned, and when running a function, inside the functions, you now have access to the Wized API. Okay, so this is not announced in here, so you don't really see it. But if you start typing Wized, you will see how the API for Wized it's changing. So the API for Wized is exposed, and this allows me, for example, to do Wized.requests.execute, and I can increment the count from here. Nice. And why the hell would I even need this, right? Like, why do I need to do this? And the reason is because now run functions are asynchronous, which means that you can run any logic just defining the code by yourself, which usually when you have some complex use cases, it's very convenient. So let me show you, for example, in this case, I want to execute this request and I'm going to wait for it. And if we just refresh the page, it should still work fine. But how about we make it more fun? How about not only we do this, but also we anytime that you click on the button, we throw some confetti. So I have here an npm library called Canvas Confetti, and the cool thing that the cool thing that these async run functions allow us to do is that we can do any asynchronous tasks like importing an npm library, for example. So I want to use this Canvas Confetti library. All I need to do is go to esm run, which is esm.run, which is just a service from JS Deliver. that allows me to access any npm library directly from a URL. And I'll just grab this URL that I have already prepared. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to say const confetti equals to await import and whoops, the URL like that. Cool. Okay, so now that I'm doing this, now I have access to the confetti library. I'm just importing that library using the link that I shared, and I'm waiting for it because it's asynchronous. And now I can do, for example, confetti.default, run it like that. And now if I did it right, yay, anytime that we click on the button, now we're getting here some confetti. So if everyone who's still clicking on here wants to refresh the page and try it out, you should get a cool confetti anytime that it's updating. And this is just thanks to the way being able to write asynchronous tasks inside the run function and also being able to access the Wized API. Very cool. Okay, great. I think I'm talking a lot. Um, hopefully people will be able to see everything. There's just a couple things that I've missed, and I'm gonna share them super quick. Oh my god. Okay, so there's one extra thing that I missed, and it's that people might have missed it, but there's now a button to prettify your code. So anytime that you have any code that it's not pretty, like maybe you have some lines that are messed up like this, maybe you have things very weirdly in the code editor, you can just click on this button and it's going to prettify everything for you automatically. It's using prettier under the hood. It's cool. Okay, and the last thing, and I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but it's that we have the new T keyword. Okay, and this T keyword essentially allows us to have access to the element that triggered a specific function. Okay, so for example, here if I console log T and I show you my console, and we'll need to zoom in a bit. Anytime that I click in here, you can see how I can have access to the specific element that was triggered. And this is very convenient whenever you need to do any kind of actual logic, custom logic, and you want to write custom code for it. This can help you a lot because you can access the element, you can access any children, any parents, you can see exactly if it's a member of a list, if it has some actions applied, etc. It's convenient. Great. I think that's enough for the demo.
Yes, you've covered everything, and that was incredibly impressive. And I can't believe we've already had more than 8,000 clicks on that button. Amazing.
Yeah, people are clicking like mad.
Nice. Okay, so audience, if you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Our next section is the roadmap, and after that, we'll do the AMA, and we will go over hopefully all the questions. So now it's not my turn to speak. Roadmap, SOC 2 compliance. We have made a huge investment to become SOC 2 compliant at Wized and at FinSuite. But what is it? Briefly put, it's about information security. It's about how we handle data at the company, data about our users, data about our customers. It's a demonstration of that. We now have official standardized processes in place. We perform access control using software. Um, we review the access quarterly for critical and high risk systems. We have an app installed on our work computer that continually monitors the compliance level of that device at FinSuite for everybody. We have protocols for disaster recovery in place. There is We will conduct a penetration test, which essentially is ethical hacking of the Wized software using automated systems as well as manual processes to test out how safe Wized application is. All of that will be examined by an external auditor, and when we clear these checks, we will then earn the SOC 2 certification, and we'll do that every year. moving forward. So we'll keep you posted on that. We have been working for months, and we'll let you know how things go. Next up, GDPR. We are working with a German company to become GDPR compliant at Wist. We have already prepared and submitted the ROPA document, which is a record of processing activities. Our consultant is matching each one of those to GDPR related articles. They have sent us a draft of the privacy policy. We have some agreements in place and more on cookie consent. So these are the works in progress, and we hope to become GDPR compliant by mid of next year. Next up, Showcase. We are building a Webflow type showcase for Wist. You can create a profile, you can share your project as a standalone or as a clonable, just as you would on Webflow Showcase, which is now called Made in Webflow. It is being built, of course, on Webflow, Wized, and Zano. And we will release an affiliate program next year. You will now be able to onboard users to Wist and earn from that referral when they purchase a a paid plan on Wist. We will share more details when the affiliate program goes live, but we have internally implemented a software and tested it. It works, so it is um, close to release. And finally, a very important news to share is that there will be updated pricing. So Alex will share the link, share his screen, and walk us through what the updated pricing and the limits are, which will be in place from next year. So if you would like to lock in the current pricing, now is a good time to upgrade your projects to a paid plan, and we will honor that for a period of time. Alex?
Cool. Okay, so let's share the screen. Essentially, we have a new pricing that we essentially just listened to what the people needs in the community, and we made sure that we adapted the pricing to that. We want to make sure that our new pricing is covering all the potential use case of waste, while still being something that we can maintain. So first of all, always plans start with a free plan, which includes Waffle domain, unlimited sessions, unlimited actions, 90 days backups, and chat support. Okay, so essentially in the free plan, we are giving you everything for free. We're giving you the best things except just the custom domain. Okay. And that's what for one specific reason. That's because we know that many agencies are working on West, and maybe it takes a few months, maybe it takes weeks, maybe it takes days, but maybe it takes even months, depending on how big the project is, to ship that product. And obviously, we don't want to be limiting you when you're building the product, but it's still not live. So with that mindset, what we did was just make everything accessible in the free plan. The only thing that we don't obviously let you do is add a custom domain, because the moment that you add a custom domain, we assume that you're going live, and that moment then we start applying the pricing plans. Great. So hopefully with this, everyone will be able to build anything without any limitations. So the new pricing, we have 4 different plans, actually 5 if we count for enterprise. Okay, there's one very little price that it's called what we call the light plan, and this plan is specifically designed for people who just wants to sprinkle a few functionalities on a site. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're building a web application. It doesn't mean that you're doing anything very serious. You're just taking a Webflow site, and instead of writing custom JavaScript by yourself, maybe you want to use Wist to sprinkle those functionalities. Maybe you want to add a custom conditional elements. Maybe you want to load some data. Maybe you want to just send some analytics to your site. There are many things that you can do with Wist, and obviously, not all the sites need to build a web application. Many sites just need to sprinkle a bunch of functionalities. So this light plan is specifically made for that. It's a plan that you don't have any limits in sessions, but you do have a limit on actions. Actions meaning anything that you create interactively on the side. That's it. But you get exactly the same. You get 99 days backup. You get chat support like the rest of the plans. Everything is bundled. Okay, and the rest of the plans are essentially just ranging between sessions and actions. That's it. That's the only thing that we are going to use to decide which plan fits better for each project. The plans that are just small web applications that just need a few actions and they're not going to have a lot of traffic, they can totally be living with a small plan. And the applications that need more capabilities, like many actions, many sessions, etc., then obviously the biggest plans, the bigger plans are offering that. Um, the main difference between the previous pricing plans and the new pricing plans, it's essentially the sessions. Okay. Also the actions. In this case, we can talk about it. But the sessions, it's a bit different because these sessions is not about page views. It's about users who are accessing the application. So anytime that a user comes to your application, doesn't matter how many visits it does that user does in your site. We're not counting per page views. We're just counting for the entire session of that user navigating the application. So hopefully, this will be very fit for all the different use cases that everyone has. Great. And obviously, anything that it needs bigger things, we're always going to offer custom-made solutions, custom-made plans. So you need anything more powerful, please contact us because we can offer you enterprise plans. Okay, great. I don't know if people are having any questions.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex. If you have any questions, please post them. I'm now going to scroll all the way up and try and work my way down to all through all the questions. So we're now doing the AMA. I see the first question is from DK Jukes. They ask, I didn't even see a feature to fill a select input dropdown with a Zano call without coding it myself. Did I miss that?
I didn't even see a feature to fill a select input dropdown. Oh, because yeah, that you can do it with a render list. So essentially, the way that that would work if you're trying to populate a select dropdown is by populating the options in the select dropdown. And the way that you populate options is by using a render list. So you can either create a select dropdown using an HTML embed, so you can add the Wized attribute to the option element, so to the option tag, or you can use the new custom element from Webflow that allows you to essentially just create the option element and you can add the Wized tag to it. If that's not clear, we could have some documentation about that.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Next question from Nicola Toledo. Can we remove ourselves from a workspace?
Not right now, but it's planned. So the next iteration of workspaces, it's going to be a bit different. Right now, all the workspaces are living under a single account, meaning that whoever owns the workspace, it's dealing with its own account. So one thing that we're working now is on extracting the workspaces at the FinSuite account level. So instead of managing workspaces from West, the workspaces will be managed at the FinSuite account level. And that will give us a bunch of benefits, like, for example, allowing you to have different payment methods for different workspaces because are going to be managed directly in your account. You're going to be able to assign different roles inside the workspace when inviting people. So you'll be able to have editors, admins, billing managers, whatever we decide finally to be the roles. And one of the options, obviously, is going to be to leave workspaces, but not right now. It's gonna come in 2024.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Next question by Frederick Gustafsson. A bit unrelated. What framework is the Wized app built on?
Well, there are many things. There are many moving pieces in West. One thing is the configurator, so the UI that you play with, and that's built with Vue.js. It's using Vue 3 in this case. What's shipped to your site, which we call the embed, that's a library that we've custom built from scratch. So it's not using any framework. the full reactivity system, everything. It's custom tailored to fit the use case of Wized. So it's built in purpose to just serve the functionalities of Wized, which makes it smaller and more performant.
Impressive. Next question by Nicola Toledo. I noticed that in my project, when I create a new variable, if I return a string, the variable remains empty. I have to reload to see the value.
Yeah. Okay, that's a common misconception because um, that was actually a normal thing in Embed 1. The new functionalities that we added in Embed 2, one of these was to see changes reflected automatically on the canvas when you're updating it. But updating variables, cookies, and I think that applications, that's still something that does not react immediately. So it's not like it's failing. It's just that it still has not been made fully reactive. Are those pieces are the bits that are missing. So in those particular cases, you still have to reload the page, but soon it's not going to be needed. So stay tuned to the "What's Up" pop up because you're gonna see updates around that.
Great, thank you. Next question by Ellie Rofe. What are some common use cases for persisted variables?
Um, Actually, let me pull because we explain it very well. I think in the new documentation side. So if I go to the documentation side, can I share my screen? Oh, nice,
Sure.
cool. Okay, so if you go to docs.wiz.com and you look for the variable section in here, you're gonna see explanations about persisting variable values like that, and it explains the difference between session storage and local storage. It even shows you a demonstration video, and then you've got here a few differences between what happens when you persist data in cookies and what happens when you persist data in the browser. And essentially, the differences are that in cookies, you're very limited because you can only persist strings, usually access tokens, some critical things that you want to send to the server, stuff like that. But when dealing with large amounts of data, usually you want to rely on the local storage. I can give you some use cases. For example, imagine that you have an application where people can be adding things, and maybe those things are going to be pulled from a request, but you want to load them immediately before even waiting for the request. Or maybe you're just working locally. You don't want to be sending data to an API. You just want to be storing those options in there. Maybe even it's something that you need across different tabs, but you really don't want to use a server as a middleman. Maybe you have some kind of list in your application, and when you go to another page, you want to grab whatever list was created in there by the user and then use that data. It's really up to you how creative you want to be with that. But it's usually whenever you need to persist data between tabs or when navigating and you don't want to be sending that data to the server and wait for that data to be loaded on every page request.
Great. Thank you, Alex. A comment by Dimitri Theophanos. He says, I would love to include the WIS types in the CLI I am preparing. I'd love to include it as an option before releasing it. Do you know what he's talking about?
Yeah, yeah, he yes, I know that I need to answer you back on Twitter, but yeah, he asked for essentially the type definitions on the West API. So what I showed before in the demo of typing Wiz dot blah blah blah, and that's still a to do in my list. I apologize, Demetrius, but I I'm going to do it. I promise. We're gonna publish the types on npm, so anybody who's writing custom code and wants to use the Wist API, they can use TypeScript for it.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Next question by VGW Facts. Are the Stripe commissions going away?
Yeah, in fact, they are already away. So you can totally use Stripe in Embed 1 without any fees, no worries at all. And in Embed 2, it's not going to have any fees either. And I'm talking about fees from Wized. So any fees that are charged by Stripe, that's completely separate from Wized. But Wized is not going to charge you anything extra on top of any Stripe transaction.
Great, thank you. Three people have asked similar questions, so I'll read the one from Pierre. So, if the same user visits the site twice in the same day, that's going to be only one session or two sessions? How are sessions
It's,
tracked?
yeah, a session counts as a browser session. So if the user is accessing the site, navigating as many pages as he wants, and then leaving, that's one session. But if he leaves, closes the browser, and then comes back again, that's another session. So essentially counts as the same exact thing as a browser session. Okay. That being said, we are very open to um, opinions. We are very open to feedback. So if you feel that there are many other situations, any other use cases where you would feel that you prefer another approach, we are happy to listen to that. So for now, the idea is to track for sessions, but we are very open to any feedback.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Next question by Nikhil. Currently, Wizd support REST API. Will it support GraphQL in future?
You can actually already consume GraphQL. Um, you can call a GraphQL server by doing a REST request. All you need to do is Google how to make a REST request to a GraphQL API, and you will see it. But I think that we could also have some documentation about that. Essentially, it's about including the query to GraphQL in the body, or yeah, I believe it's in the body or in the header. I can't remember right now, but you can totally do it with the REST API. Okay, if that's not clear, I'm already writing down what we need to show, and that's another thing that we should have in the documentation.
Thank you, Alex. Next question by Johnny Dev. Is Web3 integration still on the pipeline?
Can you clarify when we've had Web3 in the pipeline? Have we ever
I
had it?
I think there was some talk about it in the previous live streams, but I don't know if it was officially on the pipeline. I don't remember.
I think I'm afraid I cannot give you immediate feedback right now, Johnny. But how about you reach out to me or Rohan and tell us about the use case that you have in mind.
Great, thank you. Matthias is asking, do old plan subscriptions persist? By old, he
Yeah.
means current.
Yes, any plan that is active before the new pricing is released, it's going to become active for a few years. Probably it's going to be around 5 years or until canceled. We don't know exactly, but it's going to stay. We're not going to force you to update for a long, long time. So don't worry about that. Still, we want to make sure that the new pricing is it's fitting everyone. So the old pricing, I believe that it's a bit cheaper, but it's not that big difference. Still, we want to make sure that you're getting the best out of the new pricing. So if there's any concerns about that, why you want to stay on the old pricing, we also want to learn about that.
Thank you, Alex. Andrew is asking, I have a project with nearly 200 plus actions. Does that mean I'm going to need to pay for the most expensive plan?
I believe that in this case, you would, yes. Again, discussing pricing, it's something that we want to do from now on. This is the first time that we're releasing this. We got feedback from close communities, but this is the first time that we're making it public, which means that obviously we're going to get a lot of feedback from people asking, hey, does this mean that this is going to increase a lot of the price to me? Or, hey, does it mean that my project is essentially going to be now completely different? We want to hear about all of this. So don't worry. We're going to get your feedback, assess it, and then get back to you with official answers.
And the best thing to do would be to upgrade now so you lock in a price.
If you don't want to, yeah, if you want to know what's known, if you want to stay with what's known, obviously locking a price now, it's something that you can do. It's going to stay for a while, and if not, please give us feedback. We want to learn from it.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Mint Kings is asking, I noticed on the Wized showcase that a CRM is coming soon. Are you able to provide insight on that project? I know Emmanuel is working on clonables, but I do not remember if the CRM is on his agenda or not. Do you, Alex?
I believe it's in the agenda, but I don't know exact timelines. Right now, Emmanuel is focusing a lot on content of written and video. So I guess that after he's done with his current sprints, then he'll gonna jump again on building clonables. I think that it's better if we ask Emmanuel to answer this in the community channels.
Great. Please reach out to him on Twitter. I think that would be the direct line of communication with him. Next, Gr- Giori, I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, is asking, will it be possible to start generating revenue with already existing projects and subscriptions for my past clients? I don't think that's possible. It's with new. I I think this is in reference to the affiliate program. So I would assume it's with new affiliates because you don't still have the affiliate link. They would need to click that and then purchase a paid plan for you to get that reward.
Yeah,
And
the affiliate programs
mhm,
are going to work essentially with any new projects that are purchased from the moment that the campaign starts.
okay, I do see there is a question that is repeated. So Danny is asking, sessions only count in pages where Wizd is working, right?
Yeah, any page that Wiz doesn't load, it will not count anything.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alex. I think we have covered all questions from the chat. So we will now move on to the final section of the live stream. We'd love to give shout out to a few community projects. I've got 5 or 6 of them listed here. First is masterthehandpan.com, created by Matt. It is a handpan learning website. So do check it out. I did forget to mention our another goal to share these projects is to show you the variety of things that can be built on Wist, and an opportunity for you to gain inspiration from these projects. They are absolutely amazing. Next up is shoptoolbox.co, created by Blackpeak. It is a marketplace to buy and sell digital products. Third website is the inspirationacademy.nl. It is a Dutch website built by Freddie Boxman and Cut the Code. It is a live streaming platform. Check it out, very cool looking. Next up, many.so, built by Riley Henning. It is a review collection platform. Finally, we've got domainpedia.co, built by Marco Mendes. It is an AI domain name generator. Extremely cool projects. Finally, a shout out to Glenn. He has built a course called buildanything.online where you can become a pro in using Webflow, Wized, and Zano. So, thank you everybody for building these amazing projects on platform. I'd also like to thank everyone in general for the excitement, the support, and the contribution for the platform. It keeps us going. We want to grow stronger together for 2024. We look forward to collaborations and partnerships with you. So if you have any ideas, please reach out to us. Um, Alex, any final words?
No, I'm just loving being able to display all these projects from the community. So hopefully on the next live stream, we're going to display many more projects. And I appreciate everyone who's already building things in West. I appreciate everyone who has any feedback for us, positive, negative, constructive, anything. We love it. And just keep building cool things.
Thank you, everybody. I wish you all happy holidays and an advance happy new year. We'll see you in 2024. Bye.